Guys, you don't need complex systems to trade Forex successfully, especially with Vantage Markets. Today, I'm going to show you one of the simplest but most effective Forex strategies out there and why Vantage Markets is the absolute best place to execute that. Now, this is financial advice, but let's dive into this. So here we are on Vantage Markets. And the reason why I'm bringing this up today, guys, is because these guys actually do all the technical analysis for you. And they actually have this integrated with TradingView. So you can go ahead and look at any asset that you would typically trade, whether it's crypto, shares, commodities, Forexes, or indices. And yes, you can actually go and see what the general technical analysis for those assets are. So we will actually dive into a strategy in a minute that I use. It's just super simple, super effective. But if you are just looking for those simple and effective ways to actually trade and just decide whether an asset is bullish, what these do is they compile a bunch of different strategies that are just working over the long term, and they actually allow you to see whether something is bullish or whether something is bearish. So in this case today, we can see the Euro CAD is currently around a buy, and if we go over to USD CAD, we can see that yes, that is currently around a sell. And what actually makes up these little tickers? Well, what we can see here is, yes, lots of different opinions or views here from these indicators, but what actually makes them is where they compile indicators like moving averages, RSI, MACD, divergences, all of this stuff, and basically compile it all together so you can actually just see whether something's bullish or bearish. And I think that is a massive shortcut here when it comes to actually understanding the markets or trading a particular asset, particularly if there's news around that asset as well. And talking about news, yes, Vantage Markets do actually offer their own news as well here. So if we go to Pro Trader Tools, and then we go to technical insights, we can actually see all of the different things here that basically people are talking about, actual vetted and verified traders are talking about here to actually say if something is bullish or bearish. So this is a great way that we just explained to determine what the market is doing, what's actually going on. And you can see here, triple moving average crossover, which is here, which is similar to the strategy we're going to dive into next. But what's important is basically to avoid confusion in the markets. You really want to say, hey, what is the macro or long-term direction of an asset based on what's happening, particularly in Forex with economies and things worldwide. Guys, if you want to rank higher on Google, you should definitely be using PrimeLink because you get backlinks, you get QR codes, you get analytics, and much more. So definitely check out PrimeLink in the description. Let's get back to the video. And then of course, yes, once you start trading that asset, avoid over trading. A lot of people will try to trade the 1 minute or the 5 minute. There's a significant disadvantage for doing that. Whereas if you could just hold a trade over a month based on a nice bullish crossover or something that's come out in the news that's going to affect something for a few months, yes, I mean, you're going to make a lot more from that trade if you were to do that rather than trying to trade every 5 minute candle and getting obliterated. So yeah, that would be my other advice there as well. Obviously, don't overtrade, keep it simple, and of course, yes, try and avoid confusion while determining the overall trend of an asset. Now, if we head over to TradingView here, this is going to be my next tip. This is going to be a simple step-by-step strategy right now, and all we're going to do here is basically get on our chart the moving averages of the 200 SMA, the 50 SMA, and the 20 SMA if you want. But what's important is getting the 50 and the 200, because when those cross, that is a significant signal for the long term, particularly on a daily or a weekly, in which we can expect some bullish price action. And it's the same toward the other side here as well, where if they do cross towards the downside, it's what's called a death cross. So we've got a golden cross, which is bullish, and a death cross, which is bearish. And you can see quite clearly in this example that yes, when these cross, we actually originally get a trap, which brings us back towards the moving average. And then what we do is wait for the breakout after that point to confirm it. And then we can find a long, and the pips that you would get here are absolutely ridiculous simply by following this rule. I mean, we can see here, I mean, just ridiculous amounts of profit here if we were to just trade this. I mean, even if we were to trade this pump here and wait for some kind of diagonal to kind of fall in the structure on the shorter time frames, you're talking about ridiculous trades here, 200 pips there very, very easily. Now, how do you determine when to get into this? Well, it would be something like a descending trend line like this break after the golden cross. So for this golden cross example here, guys, let's just talk about it step by step. So step one, we want to be eyeing up if there's a golden cross very, very soon. So if the moving averages are here and here, we want to be looking at this and saying, okay, there is a pretty high potential that we do get a golden cross soon. So what we're going to do here is prep for that. Now, once this golden cross happens, you don't want to actually just immediately get into the trade. You want to wait for a pullback just because the market makers will want to trap everyone. So step one, look for when a golden cross is going to happen. Step two, when the golden cross happens, just wait a few days / weeks here until some kind of structure forms. And then after that structure forms, that is when we look for the breakout. So identify the golden cross, wait for the structure, wait for a break of that structure in a bullish direction, and then get into a longer term trade in which, yes, I mean, this would have lasted 4 or 5 days in this example, but we would have made a ridiculous amount of money. And it would be an example where, yes, we would have followed this steps perfectly. Now, getting out of this trade is another thing. I mean, what we could do here as well is probably have some kind of stop loss on this sloping upward diagonal. Once that structure begins to break, we can get out. Of course, we want to take profit along the way for more gains. So ideally, you'd be looking at probably around 100, 130 pips here in terms of us getting profit from this, which would be fantastic. And yeah, that's basically the strategy here. Now, when it comes to the death cross, it's exactly the same thing. Identify when the death cross is going to happen, okay? And then once it happens and it's confirmed, we wait for a structure to form, which is exactly here. Okay, and then yes, what we want to do is wait for that structure to break and then ride that trend down. Very, very easy, very simple to follow that rule. And we could do something else like gold as well. This is something that works on many different assets, including crypto and Bitcoin. But let's go ahead and check out gold and just show you another example of this. Gold has actually been in a bullish stance for many months here, as you can see. So if you did want to ride this golden cross, you can see here exactly when it did happen. So the golden cross happened in Monday, December 2023. This is obviously a bit more longer term for gold, but we can see here that yes, that golden cross happened. Okay, we pulled back, we made a structure here. So let's just look at this structure, probably something along the lines of this. We're really just looking at the lows and highs here, determining any structure. I know this isn't perfect. We could probably do something like this as well, right? But the point being is once that structure breaks towards the upside, we could find a long here and basically ride that out. I mean, if you had got into this long, guys, and you held it, I mean, just think about the money you could have made here. This is a 75% gain on gold, which is crazy, right? You'd expect these kind of gains on crypto. So this is probably the simplest, most effective strategy in most markets right now, the golden cross. So let's just run through the steps one more time here, guys. What we'll be looking for is a golden cross to appear. Okay, we'll look for a structure to appear after that. We look for a break of that structure that's bullish, and then we get into the trade and we take profit along the way. All right, besides that, yeah, you can see there are examples where this doesn't work 100% of the time, but as you see with this death cross, we had the cross, we came down, we didn't make any structure, and then it trapped and went the other way. So this would be an example where, yes, because we have this step-by-step process in place, we don't actually have a scenario where we've got into a short here. And one thing that's super crucial here, which is going to be your final point, is make sure you are looking at your stop losses, position sizing, risk management. This is super, super important here when it comes to your trading. And if you're trying to skip these steps, guys, you're going to have a bad time. Let's just say we didn't have structure form here on the daily and we decided, oh my goodness, it's going down, it's a death cross, let's get into this trade. And yes, maybe we get a little bit of profit, but then it just reverses. And the reason why we take a loss on that is because there's no structure here. We want a decent structure to form over a few weeks and then boom. And this is why the best traders in Forex, stocks, crypto, indices in the world, they will take 4 to 5 trades per year. This is a fact. This is some of the best traders out there. The reason for that is because they're following a step-by-step structure like this. Yes, you can trade the high frequency on the 5-minute. Yes, you can do that. There are tons of strategies for that, but the highest win percentages are the ones that are based on macro trends for the long term. If you got into this trade here, you would be indefinitely rich by now, right? In 2 years, millions of dollars, right? So yeah, that's just a great example of how this can work on gold, Forex, basically anything. Now, if you are trading different strategies out there, of course, you can look at things like this. We have bullish flags. We have all of this on Vantage Markets. And the best thing about this, guys, is completely free to get it. You can get your own account on Vantage Markets and just trade on a demo account if you want, and you get access to all of this. So you've got Market Buzz, which basically scans social media. We've got the technical analysis insights. We can see here tons about stocks and other things here, and even a trending one, which is pretty cool. And then we have other things like the economic calendar, which will be great for macro events, determining the future trends. And then we can align that with our golden cross and make copious amounts of cash. This is what we're really talking about here. And the reason why I'm suggesting Vantage Markets is because they are not paywalled. Every other broker out there I have found, you need a super premium account, you're completely paywalled, or you've got to pay a subscription just to get access to stuff. This, they give it all to you for free. And even if you're a beginner trader, they have an educational section, video tutorials here, in which, yes, you've got beginner, intermediate, advanced. I actually checked out the advanced stuff here and still actually learned a little bit, which is fantastic. But as you can see here, they have full-on courses that you can take for free on Vantage Markets. So if you do want to learn to trade and you want to learn the right way, this is definitely the way to do it, guys, honestly, because even me, someone who's been trading for 10 years, I'm still filling in gaps. I'm still educating myself every now and again to see if the meta has changed. And yes, there are things here that I didn't know and actually added to my repertoire. So definitely check that out, whether you're advanced or a beginner. And again, guys, super easy to sign up to Vantage Markets. All you got to do is press the sign up button, do a standard KYC as you do with any broker, and then you are good to go. And these guys have a super small minimum deposit, and they got a demo account that you can check out as well. So definitely go ahead and check this out in the description. But that is it, guys. Hopefully you got some value from this video. And yes, just to summarize everything, you want to avoid confusion when trading. You don't want to overtrade. You don't want to tilt, okay? And you want to use simple strategies like that golden cross or death cross strategy when it comes to macro trades. They're a little bit longer term, talking about a month or something like this, being in a trade. Some of them last a week like we saw, but yes, you can make tons of money simply by just being patient, following a step-by-step strategy, and then yes, you will be on par with all of the top traders in the world, basically with strategies like this. That's going to be it from me. Check out Vantage Markets. Honestly, guys, helped me out so much, not just the education, but the constant live real-time updates they provide. I sign on every day, I check it. I don't even use any other platforms now. This is just so great. Okay, so that's gonna be it from me. Have a fantastic day. I will see you in the next one. Cheers.